Hi everyone. So our next topic is the foreign key, which is a continuation of the constraints what we are learning, right? So we have understood what are constraints we have. Unique we have done with the unique, we have done with the not null, we have done with the primary key, and today we'll do the foreign key, right? Okay. So do you remember that in EF chord rule, in one of the EF chord rule, it is mentioned that EF said that we can have two tables. We can have multiple tables. So in this example, taken as one as employee table and one as department table, and we can store data in multiple tables. And if we require, we can establish a connection, right? We can establish a connection between the two tables. How? By using a key attribute. So key attribute is a column which is common in both the tables. For time being, you keep this thing in mind that the key attribute will be a column which is a common column in both the table. Okay. So in employee we have employee number, employee name, salary, address, department number. Okay. In department we have department number, department name, and who's the HOD of the department. Okay. So what is a common column we can see in both the tables? It's department number, right? So department number is the common column what we can see in both the tables. Okay. So if we want to establish a connection between employee and department, by using which key attribute we can do that? Using the department number column, right? Okay. So for that we need a syntax, right? So this is the syntax of making any column as a foreign key. Okay. So I want to make department number as a foreign key. Okay. As a foreign key of employee table. Okay. And this will be the primary key of this table. Okay. Now how I'll make an EMP number is the primary key of this table. Okay. Why we use the primary key? Because whenever we want to uniquely identify a complete record, at that time we'll go for a primary key. Okay. So in this case, department number for department table, department number will be the primary key, and for employee table, primary key I'll make as an employee number. Okay. Now, but since I want to establish a connection between both the tables, I have to make a foreign key. Okay. So department number of the employee table will be act as a foreign key. Okay. Okay. So let's understand the syntax. So syntax will be foreign key. What is the column name? Department number. References. So references means from which table we are referring, this department number? From department table, right? So what is the parent? So what is the parent table? What will the parent table of this foreign key? It will be department, right? Okay. So what is the parent table? I'll write it as a department. And what is a column from which we want to refer? The department number, right? From the department number column only we want to make a reference to the employee table. So it will be a department number. Okay. So this syntax is an example of how you will create a foreign key in one table. So for employee table, my foreign key is department number, which is a reference of department table of which column? Department number. Now suppose here my department number is changed. Suppose it is not department number, it is department ID. So what will be the syntax here? So it will be make the foreign key of which table of employee table, make the foreign key department number, which will refer to which table? Parent table of which is a department, from which column? Department ID column. Okay. Now, so we have understood how this syntax work. Okay. Now, so from this, what we have understood, that we have understood the syntax first. Okay. After that, what we have understood? To be any column to be a foreign key in another table, right? So what this department number, so this department number is a foreign key of this table, is a foreign key of employee table, but this foreign key has to be, always has to be a primary key of another table. Okay, when I made a department column, department id as a primary key, by using this thing only I can make sure, okay, this is my, this record can be made as a foreign key. Okay, so the next thing what we can conclude by this is that, first, the syntax, we got the clarity of the syntax. Second, to be a foreign key, it has to be a, it should be a primary key of its table. Okay, of its table means department number or id, it should be a primary key of the department table, then only we can make it as a foreign key of one more table. Second, okay. Now coming to the third point is that we can have n number of foreign key in a table. Okay, now suppose, okay, you have one more table which is project. So this is project id, this is project name, and this is a location of your project. Now I want to associate, now I will, what I'll do, I'll create one more column here, okay, which is project id, okay, which is a project id, and make this as a foreign key which will refer to the project table, references project table. So what will be the syntax of this, uh, of creating this column as a foreign key? So foreign key, your column project id, references project table, which is your parent table, where also you have a project id. So similarly we'll make one more column as a foreign key. So third point is that we can have n number of foreign key in a table. Okay, now coming to the fourth thing, foreign key accepts null, but remember, your primary key doesn't accept null, right? So keep in mind, in foreign key column we can have a null value. Suppose here there is no value, so Hari is not associated with any project, so it can have a null value. But suppose, okay, for time being, just for this point, we keep in mind, for foreign key can have a null value. Now coming to the fifth point is that, uh, uh, foreign key can have duplicate also. Okay, but primary key can't have duplicate, right? Can't have duplicate. Okay, now one more point is that it is called referential integrity constraint. So another name of foreign key is referential integrity constraint. Okay, also known as referential integrity constraint. Now understand why. Okay, suppose I have this table. Let me copy this table. Copy. Now I have this table. Okay, suppose I have one more record here. Now suppose I have, uh, one more record here, 105, which is Kinjal, the salary of 5,000, with the department 50. Okay, suppose I try to insert this record in employee table. Okay, so it will throw me an error. Why? Because I have associated my department number with department number of department. So what I did, I have associated my department number column of employee table as a foreign key which is associated or referred to which table? Department table. Primary key, which is a department number. Okay, so whenever I try to insert a new record, okay, whenever I try to insert a new record for the department number of employee what it will do, it will check this table first. Department table, it will check that does this 50 present in this department table department number column. So the answer is no, it's not present, right? So it won't allow me and throw me an error. Now suppose I want to insert a record 30 here. So what it will do? It will first check, does this 30 belongs to department column department number values? So first we'll go to 10. No, it doesn't matches 10. It doesn't matches 20. Yeah, it does matches 30. And further we don't have any records. So yeah, it does matches 30. So what it will do? It will allow us to insert the record in the employee table. So whenever you make a foreign key column in any table, first it will check that does this value exist in the referenced table or not. Okay. Now suppose I want to insert one more record here. Okay. And the record is 50 now. So it will check, does this record is present in department tables department number column. So it's not present here, it's not present here, it's not present here. It's suppose we have 40 here, it's not present here. So it will check all the records and it doesn't find a 50 here. So it won't allow you and give you an error of referential integrity. Referential integrity error, you'll get a referential integrity error and it don't allow you to insert this particular 106 record into employee table. Okay, so this is what referential integrity means, and yeah, that's it. So let me summarize it. So first, the syntax is your foreign key, column name. So for my employee table, I want to create a foreign key, this particular column as a foreign key. So what is the syntax for that? Foreign key, department number, reference department, which column? Department ID column. Okay. Second point is that foreign key should be a primary key in its table. If this department ID is not a foreign primary key in its own table, we cannot make it as a foreign key in another table. Okay. Okay. Third point, we can have n number of foreign key in our table, right? We have made one more column here, project ID, and converted it as a foreign key, right? Using the syntax. Okay. Next point, we can have in foreign key column, we can have null values of, we have seen here. Okay, we can have null values of and we can also have duplicate values. You can see, suppose if I give one number 1 here, again it won't throw me an error. Okay, and one more thing, it your foreign key is also known as referential integrity constraint. And what is a referential integrity constraint? Whenever you want to insert a record of a foreign key, first it will check that this particular value exists in its own table or not. If it is not exist in its own table, it will throw an error and it won't allow you to insert this particular record in your employee table. Which type of error it will throw? Referential integrity constraint. Okay.